lyricists is frauds. All my women is boss.
Peace world, you already know. It's Knowledge to God. We are here with the Dean. You know what I'm saying? The man himself, Pendulum Inc.
Yes, sir.
The founder.
Yeah.
When it comes to lyricism,
yeah,
this guy right here is one of the greats.
Appreciate it.
Mickey Factz.
What's up, hip hop is real? What's going on, man?
First off, I gotta say, salute to you for another season of Pendulum Inc.
Thank you.
Another year to teach about hip hop, not only the history, but the way to make it happen, the way to do it the right way, and to show that it is a serious business.
Appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Another thing that I truly enjoy is when I follow your Instagram, your Twitter, and I see the way that you break down lyrics. I swear, I've heard some of these lyrics many times before, but the way you break it down, I'd be like, damn, son, I really don't know rap. And I've been listening to this thing my whole life. And Mickey will break something down. I'd be like, that was a triple? A quadruple? You said a Jay-Z the other day, quadruple. I was like, that was? Yeah. I'm like, that was.
Yeah. You know, the more I think about it, you know, I'm into expanding. So maybe I could do some battle rap breakdowns and just send them to Hip Hop Is Real. You know, just for like as some shorts that y'all could put on YouTube or whatnot, just to help grow our brand and, you know, make sure there's a collaborative effort between the two parties. You know what I'm saying? I think just in general, people just kind of need to know what they're listening to and what they're hearing. You know what I'm saying? And defining what they're hearing too. I think that's very important.
I like that. Your terms are becoming more understandable and digestible.
Yeah.
Now I can kind of like pinpoint, okay, yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay, that makes sense. This is, and I think it works a lot for battle rap. It actually really works for battle rap.
I think
in a major way.
I think a lot of times, like, the fans understand, you know, the punchlines, but there's certain devices that they kind of don't know what they're listening to and hearing, and I think it's important for us to kind of know what it is that we're listening to and what it is that an MC is doing, as opposed to just kind of reacting to the punchline. It's also the setups that they're doing. What if somebody's reaching? What if somebody's, you know, doing this type of technique and that type of technique? And I think it's important for us to all speak the same language. I think that's the real important thing, is that we all speak the same language, and there is subjectivity in how something is either dope or whack, but the technique is what we focus on. Did this person properly execute the technique? And that's what we are here for. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Any updates? How's school going? How's classes? How's everything been? The new students, the older students that came back?
Yeah. So, you know, we just finished our second year back in December. We're gearing up for our graduation this year. It's going to be in Atlanta again. You know what I'm saying? Trap Museum on Friday night. Trap Museum Cypher happening. Saturday in-person classes again. We got Stolly pulling up to do that particular class. We got the show happening, the showcase for the Pendulum students at Handlebar. $5 entry. You know, DJ Toomp is going to be, you know, hosting the open, not hosting, but DJing the open mic. So if you are in the Atlanta area and you want to rap over some Toomp beats, pull up to Handlebar Saturday night, February 24th. And then February 25th is the graduation. We got Killer Mike giving the commencement speech after the
winner. I love it.
You see that? You see how we moving? You know what I'm saying? So Killer Mike is doing our commencement speech, graduation day on the February 25th.
Yeah, you got some powerful friends, man.
You know, people try to act like I'm not, you know, who I am, but, you know, I make a couple calls and they're like, yes, Mickey, I'm down to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a pretty dope weekend again. So obviously, y'all know Hip Hop Is Real will be in the building for that, for the entire weekend. So it should be a great time. You know what I mean?
Man, I really enjoyed myself meeting the students, and just, you know, of course, I enjoyed the game and the private skybox, all of that stuff we were doing. This year, what did you, how was it with the new students that tapped in, and what were some of the things you learned as far as teaching the, you know, this new era that you brought in?
I mean, you know, last year was our second year, and what we learned was how to teach MCs like, because the first year was about just the technique and teaching MCs who couldn't rhyme on beat how to rhyme. This past year, you know, we had some students that were in Rolling Stone magazine. One of our students got a chance to do a record with Corey Guns. One of our students got offered a distribution deal. You know, so like we've been kind of planting seeds to kind of help them get outside of the box. Another one of our students got a sync licensing situation where they were able to make money. I got some students jobs teaching across the country in terms of in their particular areas. We hired 2 students on our side. So, you know, we're constantly growing and building. And, you know, we released our app last year. We sold out of all of our textbooks. Every time we put them out, we sell out very quickly. So, you know, we're continuing to move it forward. Myself, Chilla Jones, Rob Nyson, Jeff Walker, we're just pushing the culture forward this year. You know, we're continuing to do the same thing, looking to put more of our students on records with top tier producers and top tier MCs. You're going to start seeing a lot more of that towards the end of the year going into 2025. And we're bringing in more dope artists this year. So we got Styles P, Cassidy, Freeway, Jadakiss, T.I., The Game, Rhapsody. We got a lot of dope people coming in to teach this year. We're very excited to kind of continue, you know, pushing this to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited for Pendulum.
Nah, listen, man, I'm excited for you, man. Like that sounds very fun, and if you're an MC, like this sounds like heaven.
Yeah. I mean, we also got Quentin Miller coming in and teaching a class or 2 for songwriting. So, you know, you haven't, you know, I know there's a lot of people that's always going to be skeptical about it, but we've been operating for 2 years. You haven't heard one person come out and say this school is a scam. The people that have sadly not been able to continue with us, they're actively trying to re-sign up with us. You know, they may have come across some monetary issues and things of that nature, but like they want to be here at Pendulum. It's a community. It's a space where we share ideas, we help each other grow, and we're pushing MCs to be better MCs. You know, that's what it's all about, and be better humans. You know what I mean?
And again, for the people who, you know, may just be, you know, being introduced to Pendulum Inc., how can they be a part of it, like for the new season, or, you know what I'm saying, the new school year and things like that?
Yeah, sign up at penduluminc.com. You know, just fill out an application and we're going to reach out to you. We have a one-on-one conversation, go through the entire list of the things that we offer, you know, what it looks like after you leave and graduate here. You know, we want to, you know, make sure we empower MCs to take hold of their career and be better at what it is that they do. So all you got to do is just sign up. We got a free week of classes coming from February 11th all the way to the 17th. You know, every day we have a free class. We're looking to have Benny the Butcher pull up next week. So, you know, just
everybody can't go.
Everybody can't pull up though, you know, so like, you know, we have a max level. I think it's 100 people can be in the room. So, you know, first come, first serve.
Gotcha.
But I do want people to know, like, you know, come to the free classes. Just give it a chance. You know, like it's not going to cost you anything to at least take a look at what it is that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's all we ask. If you don't want to pay for it, you feel like this is not something that you want to be a part of, that's fine too. We don't harbor no ill feelings. The people that have signed up, they love it, and this is the space for people to go to for the future.
Now, you know, Mickey, you've been, not only are you a great artist who's put out dope music, you also a part of the battle rap culture, the battle rap community.
Yeah.
Your voice is highly respected. You show you're not just somebody who watches from outside looking in. You get in there with the best of them.
Yeah. We try to.
Now, recently, you know, 2023 to 2024, top of the year, we're back in the phase of the culture's dead, battle rap is dying. We're back at that again.
Yeah.
I feel like this is seasonal.
It is seasonal.
Smack though, I recently did an interview with him right now that kind of like got the whole culture buzzing, where Smack has said that the money has dried up in battle rap, like it's over.
The money is not coming back. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, like, you know what I'm saying? With the prices that like they asking for, like, it's not recoupable. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? There's no way to recoup the funding for the amount of money that, you know what I mean, that acquire the purses. I'm just gonna keep it real, like, you know what I mean? When we had, like, you know, our strategic partners available, you know what I'm saying? We had extra cushion to, like, you know what I mean, try to make it interesting for, like, you know what I mean, the ones that participate in the movement. But right now, like, you know what I mean? You know, YouTube partnerships ain't paying. It's like, where the money is coming? Where's the money coming from? You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
And right now, it's not coming back. What's your sentiments about Smack, man? The leader of the culture, like putting everybody on notice to let them know, like, yo, them persons y'all was asking for, them 60s, all that, yo, it's over.
I mean, you know, it just reminds me of, you know, the bars over names kind of thing, you know? Like, I think people forgot that, you know, after Summer Madness 2, you know, Smack spent a lot of money in Summer Madness 2. Well, first of all, shout out to Smack, Beasley, Chico, P, everybody that's over there, Nunu. You know, Smack spent a lot of money in 2012 for Summer Madness 2. And he spent a lot of money again, you know, for Armageddon. And that event didn't happen. And, you know, after Gnome, I want to say that was Gnome 3, you know, Smack was like, yo, you know, like, I can't afford to do this. You know, this was before any strategic partners was involved. This was before Exclusive Vodka. This was before Al Capone Cigarellos. And, you know, they were losing money. And I think people forget, when you're in a business, when you run a business, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into that. And Smack and the URL, they sacrificed a lot of money to get to the position where they were. And they were paying guys a lot of money. And I think that, you know, as you grow in business, you want to help the people that, you know, came up, and they continue to do that. But I think that people forget that the owners also have to eat as well at some point. And even though the money has dried up with caffeine, I think what Smack is saying is the big bags that we probably told you guys to get behind the scenes, and we begged you guys to get as much as you could, it's done, you know? And now we have to go back to, you know, what it is that we know to do, and that's to kind of, you know, take it back to, you know, the essence of it, right? Which is, you know, do this for the love, right? And a lot of times regressing is a tough thing for people to understand. You know, going backwards, for a lot of people, it's tough for them to grasp. I had a record deal. I lost my record deal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I lost it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we walked away amicably, right? I sold the records that I was supposed to sell when I was on Jive. Jive folded, I got moved to RCA. I had a different team. So it went from me making this much amount of money and doing this, and then I had to regret. I had to figure it out. And I think as men, and this is not, you know, not to shade the women, but as men, we need to just figure it out. Like, I feel like, you know, what Smack is saying is, you know, we're finally profiting off of it as owners, and we want to continue to profit off of it as owners. And if your price is at this height, I'm not sure if we can recoup that. There's no ROI, right? Now, you know, from the flip side, you know, some people may say that, you know, they have the app. We don't know the subscriber amount that they have, but we can imagine, even if it's, you know, 10%, which is the 10% of what's on YouTube, they're almost at 2 million. You're looking at about 200,000 subscribers, but I would surmise that it's probably close to 1 to 5%, right? So they're still bringing anywhere but $500,000 probably a month, right? So you got to think, you know, it's still overhead, there's still expenses, you know, people asking for this amount of money for a battle, like it's a tricky situation. And I don't, you know, I just finished, you know, doing some math in my head just now, counting pockets, but you still don't know, we don't know the ins and outs, so you kind of have to have some sort of grace that it's allowed to, you know, the owners of this business. You see the league owners coming out saying, hey, there's no ROI for us, you know, and you got the battlers saying, well, you know, we are bringing in the talent, we're doing this on our own. I even heard Easy say something about, like, I see the numbers, I see what's happening, I see what can happen. I think there has to be you know, they have to look at the numbers, see what works, see what doesn't work, and stick to the budget. If you can get sponsors to come in and give money, then by all means do it. But if you can't, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
How has battle rap changed from back in the day to now?
I mean, I think now it's a formula. You know, everybody's following a specific formula. You know, styles, you know, a lot of times people say styles make fights. You know, I always felt like people were just relying so much on the punch. you know, and that kind of took battle rap away from what it used to be, which was, you know, everybody had a different style. Like Rex sounded different from Verb, who sounded different from Ill, who sounded different from T, who sounded different from X Factor, who sounded different from Math, who sounded different from Cortez, who sounded different from Khan. Now everybody kind of sounds the same. Like everybody's either trying to sound like Twerk, shout out to Twerk, that's my guy. They're trying to sound like Rum Nitty, shout out to Rum, that's my guy. They're trying to sound like a hybrid of those two, maybe sometimes, you know, K-Shine here and there. Shout out to Shine. Shout out to Rock. They're trying to sound like Rock. You know, so that's the URL side. And then you got, you know, King of the Dot, which they rely heavily on multisyllabics. I don't want to say jokes, because jokes are punchlines too, but they rely heavily on, you know, multis, right? So you got people that are trying to sound like Thesaurus. Shout out to Thesaurus, that's my guy. Shout out to Ilmac, that's my guy. Like all of these guys are skilled in that space. And then the RBE guys, you know, it's, you know, they're focused on exactly what their styles are, right? You got Ill Will, who sounds different from Hitman, who sounds different from Rosenberg, who sounds different. Like, I feel like everybody is kind of moving in their own space, but nobody's really, I think RBE, in terms of their artists, they all sound different. URL, like, they kind of follow, they're the biggest league, so like when you're mainstream, you have to kind of follow a particular formula. So yeah, I mean, and then you got Chrome, where the women do what the women do. Like, it's just, I just feel like people just, you know, I feel like sometimes MCs just kind of need to find their style and find different ways to say different things. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
What do you think about the state of battle rap where it's at right now?
I mean, people saying that it's dying. We always say that it's dying every like year. I'm a victim of that. I've said it 2013. I said it in 2015. I said it a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's.
What do you mean when you say that then? Since you've been one of the ones who say that.
I mean, it's just the feel of it, right? Like the feel. Sometimes it's just not the same. You know, like. I feel like, you know, Summer Madness 2 was an event. That was a movie, man. Like, it's still to this day, I don't want to be that old guy that's just harping on that last event, but it was something about that particular.
Culture shifting. I agree.
That was a moment in time. Everything. That was a moment in time, bro. Like, that was 12 years ago. You know. Damn. You got to think. Jay tweeted, "You gonna get this work?" You know. Lux went and met with everybody. You know, it was a first and only 5-round battle on URL. You know, like Diddy giving up 10K, the return of Sirius Jones, one of the greatest rebuttals ever from, you know, Charlie Clips. You know, Ines just like imploding on stage. And then, you know, the emergence of John Jonathan and the crazy performance from Hitman. Like, you gotta, like, that was like a moment in time.
Yeah.
JC and Chilla happened that weekend. Ill Will, Body and Johnny Alcatraz happened that weekend. Like, we're talking like a legendary weekend, you know, and it's hard to match that energy. There was a lot of energy behind Max Out 3 as well. Like, it kind of felt the same way a little bit. Yeah. It just didn't have the like super celebrity star power that it could have been. But I enjoyed it. But I still feel like, you know, these one-offs that ARP is doing is dope. I'm hearing some great things that URL is getting ready to start doing. I'm not gonna, you know, let the cat out the bag, but you know, I hear they got some really innovative things on the way. So I'm hoping that it kind of goes back to that space where MCs are really just trying to show who's the better MC. You know, I think that's what it's about. That's what, you know. I know people like the big stages and the lights and I think that should just stay to the. It should be once a year, maybe twice a year, you know. Like, I'm not mad at Homecoming and Summer Madness. You know, one big New York event, one big summer event, and that's it. Everything else should just be, y'all got to stick to the basics, like the basics, and maybe do some different things. You know, different things are great. Like, trying different ways to approach the space will always help things grow. Like, I'm always looking to try different things with Pendulum, bringing in different professors to build the experience up. You have to inject new ideas, new feeling into the space, or it's always going to remain stagnant.
Is the battle rap you knew or you loved, is that dead? Or is it still very much alive? Or is this
It's
some whole different
spurts.
shit that we different? Are
It's
we dealing with
spurts.
some whole different shit right now?
It might be some different shit. I mean, but it's in spurts.
Okay.
You know, like 2012 to me is a great year. 2014 was a great year. I thought 2020 was a great year. The pandemic, people, they shifted very well.
That was a great year. I feel
2020 was a great year.
the fact that, like you said, the whole big stage shit got shut down.
Yeah.
I feel like it made everybody fall back in love with battle rap again.
2018 was a great year. I think people kind of forget about 2018 and how good that year was, right? Like Twerk had a great year that year. Geechee did the rise of Geechee was great.
Yeah, that was his first champion year.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think there's it happens in spurts where like it's just droughts. You know, sometimes MCs just can't do it anymore, right? Like at that high level. So we have to appreciate everything that happens when it does happen. You know what I mean?
Is the new URL guys getting a bad rap?
And when you say bad rap, like what do you mean? Do you mean because I don't know these guys?
In that sense, like, so what? Okay, is it like? Okay, this is what I mean by bad rap. Like, there's no new stars. There's no new. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm in the field. These guys are amazing. These Hansels, you know what I'm saying? Klutz, you know what I'm saying? Souffle Soul, Foot. These guys are very talented artists.
I'm sure they are. I can't speak on them. I haven't seen a lot of their work. It's just I haven't seen anything that makes me say I want to watch it though. Like, you know, I think I was inclined to watch Twerk after him and Dougie because of the trailer, and everybody was pumping him up so much. I was like, I gotta see who this Twerk guy is. Geechee, when Geechee battled, I want to say it was Saint on King of the Dot. You know, I'm in YTG. Shout out to YTG. So when Saint was telling me about him, I watched him, and I was like, okay, he cool. You know, and then I kept seeing him, you know, grow, and then I did a background check on him, and I'm like, oh, this is a real dude. Let me watch more of what he's about. It's the personality that comes along with what they say as well.
I mean, he had that breakout with Av.
He had the breakout with Av. I mean, him and JC, him and Av, the Tech Nine, him and Tech Nine had a big,
Facts,
you know, back and forth. You know, even Jack Boy, right? Like I got into Jack Boy because Tech Nine was always constantly berating him, and I was like, well, what is this about? You know, so like, I don't feel like that any of that is happening. There's not enough clips on YouTube or Twitter for me to see and be like, okay, this person is dope. I like this. I want to continue to watch it. I don't have that feeling. I got the app. I pay for the app. You know, I support black businesses, but I'm not picking up my phone to watch those guys. And that's no shade. You know, it hasn't come across my desk at a high level enough for me to want to pay attention, if that makes sense.
Damn, nah, that's real. That's real. And like you said, you have the app. So it's not like you're saying, yo, just always the app. So you feel like they can be marketed better?
Absolutely. They have to be marketed better. I mean, it needs to go to YouTube. It needs to go to Facebook. It needs to go to X. It needs to be put on Reels, TikTok, all of these things. Like, you know, it could be short clips. Like, and I get what URL is doing. I understand it. I understand it completely.
What are they doing then?
They're housing their content. Like, they're housing the content to keep everything in house. They don't want to share it, you know, out there. But you have to promote it in terms of your stars. Like, I wouldn't mind if they put a minute on, just a minute of the best parts of the round on YouTube, on the social media platforms, and right before the punch you just cut it, and then you say, you want to see the rest of that? Sign up to urltv.tv and see the rest of the battle. Like, it's you have to be creative to get people interested in these artists, and you know, some of it also lies on the artists. Like, the artists also have to, you know, reach out to Hip Hop Is Real, reach out to Chris Unbiased, reach out to, you know, Piper Boy, reach out to Uncle Ra, reach out to Champion. Like, I'm sure you guys would be more than willing to assist, but if they're not putting their best foot forward, then we're all left like, it is what it is, you know?
Now, if Mickey Factz if you're a new star in battle rap, and you hear you're a new, URL, Crucible, you're coming up in the ranks, you're doing your thing, or YTG, you're putting on a new guy in the culture. Yo, Smack, I want him to be a part of y'all Crucible. He's about to change the game. How do you feel like what do you think they're feeling when they hear Smack say the money is dried up?
I mean, you gotta. If I'm them, I'm working extra hard to prove my worth. I'm not looking at it like I'm not gonna make no money. I'm looking at it like I gotta put in the work. I gotta raise my value. How do I raise my value? Take some of that. People need to reinvest in themselves, man. Create a YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to on the block freestyles. Go to On the Radar. Like, go up to Champion and just start dissing niggas, but do it in rhyme format. Like, you know how we found Bill Collector? Bill Collector was on he did the freestyle about surfing and Suge on True Stories Radio. That's how we found Bill Collector. Like, yeah. And that was fire. It was like, yo, this is crazy. These guys, I don't want to say that they're lazy because I'm not following them enough to know, but you gotta shake shit up, bro. Everybody, your career's in your hands. You gotta do it yourself.
And I'll interject a little bit, like when you see, I'm gonna use Easy because he's one of the best examples. He threw out the top tier diss song. Yeah. He was seen on, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So even if people were saying, oh, he on the app and, he not getting a look or enough or whatever, he started doing things outside of just the app to put the eyes on him. Like, who's this dude?
And he was doing battle breakdowns before all of that.
Yeah, that's
he utilized his social media platform, and I don't think these guys are. I don't want to say that they aren't, but
nah, they're not.
Okay, so then I have to go by your word. I mean, they could go on OTFMZ. Just there's so much happening.
They're not doing it enough. I'll say that.
There was a point where Glue Easy was hilarious on Twitter and Facebook, and that was his way of gaining a fan base. He gained his fan base just being funny. Yeah. But if we don't know your personality, we can't invest our time and energy into you as fans of the community.
One person I could say, Foots, I think he's shown a little bit of his personality. I think when he battled Rum Nitty and he did the whole Crip thing with his man. And
that was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like more of things like that.
But that battle didn't drop.
Oh yeah. So
it kind of was like a moot point.
I see what you're saying.
It's just more needs to happen. I feel like. Surf he was going at dudes early on, like, dude, you gotta rhyme. But people want to get paid to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ace, I love Ace. That's my guy. He should have rhymed when Rex was ready.
Challenged him.
Man, he would have been solidified after that.
I ain't gonna lie, that would have been amazing. That would have been crazy.
Now, Mook wouldn't have rapped. Mook notoriously don't be rapping. He be making niggas rap and they don't rap. But Rex would have started. Rex is always ready to go.
Got you.
And that would have been a moment in time for Ace. His stock would have been through the roof had he rhymed. So it's things like that the younger artists and the newer artists have to learn how to do. Take advantage of every scenario and situation. Imagine if homie that SB. Mm-hmm. Imagine if SB, because Remy, he choked against SB. Mm-hmm. Imagine if Verb just sat there and watched and he didn't step in.
Yeah.
Like, there would be
a legendary moment that would have just never happened. It never would have existed.
It never would have happened.
Verb probably wouldn't have got that spark he needed.
Right. And that set him off, and I think a lot of those opportunities are rare, and you gotta take hold of them when they come.
Well, then, for me, that speaks to hunger. Then
it does,
and I'm not saying like Ace isn't hungry or like what I'm saying, but it's like a different type of hunger in that case.
Yeah, Verb saw the opportunity. It was no money in battle rap. you know, this was World Star Hip Hop days. Where they were on World Star once a week, twice a week, and that was a big platform. There was no URL. It was just Lions Den, and it was Grind Time, and it was World Star. And Verb saw the opportunity and took it. These guys are getting paid, so if they're getting paid to rap, if they don't get paid, they're not writing. That's what it feels like.
And no, I think Ace actually said that. Like, yo, I'm not getting paid. Like, well, I'm about to sit here and rap against regular. I'm not getting paid. But you know, it's like,
I love Ace, but that was the wrong answer. I would have let it off right then and there. Die holding your sword, B. You got to die holding your sword. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think guys are just, you know, they're just battlers, and sometimes, you know, battlers aren't MCs, and I'm not saying that's Ace. I'm just saying I don't have to do this to look for a rhyme. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you clipped up. You stay clipped up.
I stay clipped up. You just never know, you know.
Same question, but I want to talk about the top tiers now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? How do the top tiers, the Tay Rocks, you know what I'm saying, the T-Tops, the Chesses, the Twerks, how do they look at, what's their mindset when Smack says something like that? These are the guys who's really getting that bag.
I think they're good.
In a sense. Okay.
I don't think they're talking about, I don't think Smack is talking about them.
Okay.
I don't think Smack is talking about Rock. Rock said, I'm here. Shout out to Rock. He said, I'm here. Yeah. Twerk is here. He just battled Mook. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Chess, I don't think it's an issue with Chess. T-Top was like, yo, I'm good.
Yeah, he said, I'm a hustler, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think it affects the 1%. Right? Mm-hmm. Which is like, you know, somebody like a Hitman who's probably asking for a lot of money. Yeah. Somebody like Mook, somebody like Lux, somebody like Cass. You know, we're talking Calico, you know, potentially Goods. You know, we're talking about big ticket MCs who want to ask for a lot of money and battle every season. I think that's what Smack is talking about. And people are in a frenzy because he's saying that the money's gone. I don't think the money is gone. I think the big ticket situations are gone in terms of ROI. So if Cal, and shout out to Cal, it's my guy. If Cal, and I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there, if Cal's asking for $60K a battle and they don't feel like they're gonna make that ROI with Cal, they're not gonna book Cal. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, guys have to negotiate and figure out, okay, well, give me an affiliate link. Let people sign up through my affiliate link, you know, and we can really track who's purchasing for this person. Like, there's many different ways you can do these things, but it has to be tactful, and people have to, you know, MCs have to come back to the reality that these numbers that they were getting, it's not how it usually typically goes, bro. Like, especially in the music industry, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not the reality, you know. But again, I can't speak for what people, you know, value themselves. You gotta, and I'm not a league owner, so I don't know. I don't ever want to be a league owner. So, because to shell out that much money, they're shelling out house money. Yeah. That's money that you can take and buy a home.
Yeah, 50 racks? That's a down payment.
That's a down payment on a house.
Facts.
So, like, you know, like, I couldn't be a league owner. Shout out to anybody who's a league owner that's shelling out that kind of money. You guys are a godsend. I
seen Organic chime in as far as like, yo, I'm to blame. I seen Lush One, I'm to blame. We all gave these extra money, more than we should have. Things like that.
I mean, you know, until these guys really break down what an event costs and what they do and how much they've made back.
Gotcha.
It's all just speculation from our standpoint. We don't know. And maybe that's something that Beasley and Smack should do. Be like, yo, this is what we did in 2012. This is what we did in 2011, 2013. They're 10 years removed. Maybe let fans see what it is. Let the battlers see what it is and what they paid. Yeah. You know, and I mean, you know, I don't know.
People will be more reasonable with their prices?
Potentially, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak to that. I can't speak to what, you know, guys
So
want.
for the people who price themselves out as far as like certain top tiers and things like that, is it going to be to the point where we're just not seeing them again?
I think we'll see guys are just going to be limited. once a year, twice a year max. I can't see guys taking, unless it becomes the norm. You got to think, when bars over names happen, that happened from Summer Madness 2 until, Summer Madness 3 until Summer Madness 4. So Verb, he battled, I think the last person he battled that year on URL was Arsenal earlier in the year. And then he went to King of the Dot. Hitman, he battled Khan, and then he pulled back up the following year. Surf, he had battled Hollow, and then he pulled up the next year. Like, everybody just kind of pulled back.
Yeah.
And then Smack did Summer Madness, and that was the emergence of rock. Where is Tay Rock if the battlers don't stop battling? That was the birth of Tay Rock. Like, he had been around. We had seen Tay Rock before. I remember telling Tay Rock the day that Young Ill battle Conceited, I was like, yo, you should be battling Young Ill. And he was calling out Young Ill at the time. And he just couldn't crack through the surface. And then, he was doing what he had to do. He built it up from the ground up, and he saw his opportunity and took it.
And what was funny too, when you mentioned those times, I feel like that was also the emergence of the new stars, the Briz, the T-Top, the Mr. Wavies, the Chess, the Preps, the Saga. Like you started seeing these new stars being birthed.
Because and
they were accepted.
Yeah, I mean, because they were marketed properly as well. Like 2014, the PG system, like the
BT. That whole thing that they did on BT, UFF.
Yes, UFF. It was a lot of strategic partnerships that assisted in building up those MCs the 2013 class didn't really catch wave. They didn't really catch a wave. That was Tay Rock's kind of coming out party. But the Briz and the T-Top, that was 2014, and 2015 came around. That was Mike P. That was the Mike P.
The 2013, more like Ill Will's probably the only one that really like.
But that was 2012, right?
Oh, 2012, yes.
Because that was the same card with JC and Chilla, right? So like, 2015 was like Mike P. Av. 2016 was Twerk. So like, but the thing about it is they were marketed properly. And the PG system really helped them. They did the PGs, and then they did Born Legacies, and then, they grew them.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't like the 2013 class, I did not like the 2013 class. I hated that class. Shout out to those guys. I just did not. I was not a fan of those guys. I wasn't a fan of Anubis. And
I remember that.
I wasn't a fan.
I think XL and all.
XL's my guy, but like he did PGs, but I found XL through the Daylight battle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like it was a bunch of those guys that I just wasn't fans of.
Got you. Speaking of that, I know you say you're not too familiar, but does the new URL stars got potential from anything that do you see any potential from anything coming out of
who did the 2-on-2 with Rock? Was that Swervo?
Yes, Swervo.
I like that. I liked Rock and Swervo.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, I like Rock. I like Swervo. I liked what they did. That was dope. Klutz is cool. I like Klutz. The little bit I saw when he battled Chilla. That's about it. I don't know anybody else.
Got you. So right now,
I haven't seen Hansel. No, and again, this is no shot to them. I haven't seen it. So
right now, you're not even like sure if there's even potential stars out there right now for this new era.
I have no clue. All
right, I'm gonna ask this one right here now. How much I
like Elijah Straight.
Okay, now he's fired too.
I like Elijah Straight.
He's actually about to battle Twerk.
Yes.
On the Christian League, I believe.
I like Elijah Straight. He's dope to me.
How much do you think this lawsuit with Norbes affected what's going on right now?
There's so much speculation. I really don't know. I have no idea. I talked to Beasley. Me and him have never spoken about the Norbes situation. When I talk to Norbes, I have never called him and just asked him outright what's going on. He might tell me things here and there, but I never, these are two guys that, they were once, friends and brothers. So like I didn't really ever just kind of just come out and ask either of them what's going on. So I'm sure it did affect something because they settled. I don't know who paid what. I don't know if Norbes has been paid. Yeah. I haven't talked to him about it.
How much you think he got? M's?
I don't know.
You know, this is the battle rap speculation out here.
I have no clue.
Okay.
You know, that's, you know, I don't know. I don't think I would ever ask Norbes either. Like, that's never my place, you know. But I do think that he did get something. I think he did get something. Salute to Norbes. He put in a lot of work, so yeah.
Is there, even with speculation, is there any sense that the lawsuits did affect business?
Yeah, I mean, lawsuits are always going to affect business because you got attorneys, if they're not on retainer, $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour. And
what was it, like 3 years they was fighting this?
Yeah, they've been fighting since 2020, man.
Yeah.
Late 2020, early 2021. So this is like, that's a lot of money in lawyer fees. I think Norbes' attorneys was pro bono.
Yeah.
So he probably broke them off with something, but like, I know URL either had to pay or Caffeine had to pay. Somebody had to pay. Yeah. And that might have something to do with it. And they tied up in this lawsuit with ARP. You know, ARP money long, so you know. So we'll see.
So definitely the lawsuits, and that's something new I feel like we've seen in battle rap that wasn't really prevalent. Lawsuits and all of that, like that was kind of different.
I mean, you know, it's business, and you know, in business, there should have been lawsuits previously for people no showing and choking and things like that. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, things happen. So they got the money to stay in court. Salute to them. I can't do something like that. That ain't for me.
When you hear the sentiment of what Smack is saying, what do you think about caffeine? As far as like, is caffeine dead? Is caffeine still going to be something that's, you know, part of the culture? Because I see everybody's still using caffeine.
Yeah, I mean,
live events. And
I think caffeine is. I think, you know, they counting their losses. They licking their wounds. Battle rap is expensive, or it was expensive, and then they made it more expensive. They drove the price up. So now they're trying to get their money back through pay-per-views, with some of the events that they throw in, smaller leagues. I think caffeine is, you know, they're trying to get into the streaming space, and battle rap was the driving force for it. I'm sure Drake told Smack, get as much as you can, and then that's it. I haven't seen Drake do anything since he signed that deal with them. Drake probably got a super big bag. I don't think Drake ever streamed.
He threw an extra 50 on the Geechee.
Yeah, but it ain't the same as what Logic did with Twitch.
Gotcha.
Logic got a bag, and Logic is on Twitch all the time, streaming. Gotcha. Drake is not streaming on caffeine. Mm-hmm. I think he got a bag, and there was like, yo, let me also give Smacking him a bag to offset my involvement, which is smart. And
that is smart.
You know, I think that from my perspective, I think that caffeine is they're gonna be around. They got they got 66 million, whatever the number, 13 million, whatever that number was. They got a lot. They got a big chunk of money, and now they're probably like, okay, battle rap can only go but so far. We'll probably have to pour our money into something else, and we need to make some ROI off past battles. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, when you hear that number, 113 million, like so many people thought that's what Smack got.
I knew that wasn't what Smack got.
I know, but you know, that really, like, I feel like that also put a lot of pressure on things as well. Like, everybody was like, Smack got 113 million.
People don't know business. I think what happened was there was an allotted budget for every single event. They probably gave them like anywhere between $200,000 to $500,000 per event, and they had to allot it. And they had to probably tell them, this is what they make, and this is what they make, and this is what they make, and that's how they were able to throw events as much as they were.
In that sense, did URL fuck up the caffeine money or mismanage it?
That is a great question. That is an amazing question. It is two sides to the coin.
Okay.
One side says, yes, they messed up the money because they were overpricing, and now they can't get no more money.
Yeah, they overpaid.
But you got to think about how many people they helped when they overpaid, right? a smart person would have took that money and put it into something and invested in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out the goods with the store and all that. Not saying that's what he did with his money, but
I would hope so. But then the good side about it is, or the bad side about it is, what should have happened was when I did my deal, I didn't take a lot of money.
Why not?
Because I didn't want them to own my masters when I was done.
Okay.
And I wanted to recoup and be in the green. Mm-hmm. So when I left the label, I was in the green.
Gotcha.
I don't owe Sony any money.
Okay.
So it goes either way. I could be a tax write. You could be a tax write-off, or you could owe them money. I don't know the intricacies of their agreement. I don't know if they were an investor. I don't know if they were a sponsor. I don't know if they were partners. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, I'm always you always want to take a sponsor to offset the capital so that, you have extra cushion of money. And you always want to, I don't want to say you always want to take the least amount of money, but you want to be able to have enough money so that people see that it is generating capital, so you can continue having a business moving forward.
Gotcha.
Them overspending probably scared Caffeine and their partners and the people that were giving them the money, and they regressed and pulled back. When you, I'm in the process of getting investors, right? So you want to show them your ad share, your revenue share, all of these different things to show, hey, I am making money. This is how you get paid in dividends. I'm not sure, and I don't know if I need to be privy of that with URL. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We have to just go off of an assumption of what potentially may have or may have not happened with them.
So, just from the state of where we're at now, it could be like they could have mismanaged some of the bread.
Potentially, but I don't want to say mismanaged. I think that Smack, Beasley, and Chico, they showed love. They were showing love. I think they were.
And that's not all. But
I think that's what happened, man.
One thing a friend told me too, it was like, a lot of times, with black businesses too, and I'm not saying every black business or this, that, and third, but we have a thing where when we start making money, we want to make sure we take care of everybody. We want to break everybody off. They say that's not always good business sense.
That's not always good business sense. I mean, the hood mentality is they broke people off and they showed love. So yes, they did a good thing, but business-wise, they probably overspent. They probably overspent, if I'm being honest.
Is there still money in battle rap?
Yeah, there's still money in battle rap. There is. Smack has an app. There's money. I don't know if Chrome, I don't know what's up with Chrome. Shout out to Remy. I don't know what's up with ARP. Shout out to ARP. But there's money. It's just not the money that people are used to and accustomed to. I don't think that's going to happen for a while, until somebody else comes in and infuses with capital, and they have to understand what the business is. It's tough, man. Did Harry make his? I don't like, these are questions we don't know. We're not privy. We're privy to the NBA contracts and the salaries that they make. We know, right?
URLs are private.
You can go and look at the ticket prices on StubHub and say, okay, if this is the amount of seats, this is how much you can look up how much the venue makes for every game.
Gotcha.
You can look up how much Las Vegas makes a day.
Yeah.
We don't know what URL makes a day from an event. We don't know what RBE makes in an event. We don't know. It's not public knowledge.
No, you're right. As far as when you look at the scope of battle rap, we got one of the most important figures in battle rap, ARP, RBE.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still rumors because he hasn't come out and said anything, but the rumors is he might be chilling. He might be falling back. I've done an interview with him a year ago where he even kind of said, hey, don't be surprised if I ain't here forever, guys. Don't be surprised if I'm not here. You know what I mean? He's kind of laid these seeds and kind of gave us a little insight, I'm kind of tired. I'm tired of the bickering. I'm tired of a lot of the corny shit. I'm tired of dealing with all the F shit that goes on in battle rap. And after a while, you might not really be seeing me. I might just go kick it, go do something else.
Right.
How detrimental is that to the culture if we lose RBE, ARP, what they've been doing for the last 10+ years?
Man, WWF needed WCW. Pepsi needed Coca-Cola.
Yeah, man.
You need RBE. But ARP is tired, man. It's hard being in a community with people constantly saying negative things about you, and you spending money. Artists saying crazy things to you. You know, events potentially not doing well, losing money on events. You know, competitors, you know, doing crazy business tactics. Like, that can take a wear and tear on a person's mental health. So right now, you know, the conversations that I'm having with ARP, he's like, this is a different ARP. This is a completely different ARP. He is, he's not happy. He's not happy with what, you know, has been going on. So he's very...
Do you believe the rumors?
He's
speaking to the man now.
He's, you know, he's disconnected. He's very disconnected from what's going on, and you know, he's still gonna do the one-offs like I did with Verb. I just don't know if he's gonna do a big event. He might do one, maybe two, but this theoretically might be his last year. This might be.
Damn.
It might be.
It's horrible.
It might be. Just from his tone, like I could just tell, like there's something different. ARP is one of those guys, you hit him, he's jovial, he's asking me, yo, when you coming back? Now it's like, it's just I can't say the things that he's been saying, but it's like, it almost feels like a troll. It almost feels like a troll that's disrespecting him, talking about how he feels. Like, it's, I would never repeat some of it. It's just, I don't know what y'all did to that man, but like, man, it's just a different energy.
He ain't feeling this shit right now.
He's not feeling it right now.
Damn. So what does that do? Because, you know, we spoke to Ill Will, and he talked about potentially going back to URL, or, you know, he's open to get on URL. We seen Rosenberg Raw joke about, you know, getting on URL. What does that do for the guys who have been putting in pain for the last 10 years on that platform? I
mean, nothing lasts forever, man. That's why you can't talk crazy about people in business. You just never know. This could have easily been Smack. What if Smack one day is like, yo, I'm done. I got my money. Watch the app, watch YouTube. I'm out. Peace. People would be in shambles. Like, and it's on the way. Like, listen, I don't see smacking them here past another. Whenever Surf come home, I could see them doing another 2-3 years to make sure Surf good, and then I could see them done. I can see them being done with this. Like, you got to think about, come on, man. You think Smack is going to do this when he's in his 50s and 60s?
Forever, Smack.
I think Smack is older than me. So they're probably approaching their 50s, man. They're not going to be doing this in another 10. Like, I think, and I'm not, they can continue to do, of course, events and battles and stuff like that, but I can see an exit strategy on the horizon. Damn. I can see it. It's blatant. I think they're gonna wait till Surf come home, set Surf up 2 years, 3 years, 2-3 years after Surf is done. I could see them completely selling their catalog and being done. I can see it. The writing's on the wall. You got to think about what a business is. When you're an entrepreneur in your business, the goal is to build up your company and sell it. That's the goal of business. Build it up and sell it. There is no way that Smack, he established this probably 2010. There is no way on God's green earth that Smack is going to be doing this for 25 years. Not going to happen. Wow. Right now, 2010 is 14 years. I could see this being done. And I could see this being a successful business for 20 years. He might give it to somebody else to run it, but Smack is not going to be
standing in front of the crowd doing all that.
Smack is not going to be doing this for. I'm not.
Wow.
I can't see it.
Right now.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
Damn. So without RBE, what does the culture look like?
It look like the chitlin circuit. Sheesh. You know, you're gonna get smaller. The smaller leagues are gonna and Chitlin Circuit is not a bad thing to say. Like, there's a lot of underground artists that live off the Chitlin Circuit. There's gonna be, you know, the time for the trenches to rise up, the riot to rise up, bullpen to rise up, Black Ice Cartel to rise up.
Gotcha.
You know, all of these different leagues are they're gonna have to be the lifeline of what the community is.
Wow, so you think the small leagues are gonna get more power in a sense?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think ARP leaving is going to open up for another league to step up and step in. This is the time for people to, you know, when there's blood on the streets, there's money in the bank.
And you know, in battle rap too, it's always a point where, you know, some random investor comes in, a random league.
But I think the investors are getting hip to it now too.
Oh, word.
Yeah, we had a billionaire.
Yeah, shout out to Alki.
Alki David was a billionaire. He did one event, so he was like, "Oh, y'all niggas is crazy. I'm out." And that's a billionaire.
Yeah, I got you.
Come on, bro. Like, there's gonna be somebody, but like, when you look at the history of it, it can't be a big ROI. It's just us giving or us getting massive amounts of money.
So we might not see Cassidy for another.
I mean,
remember, like, he stopped because he said if he ain't getting 250, he ain't coming back, and that's what he came back to, and it was good, and we got to see him a few times. You know what I mean?
I don't know what happened.
And then, you know, I spoke to Cass last year, and he was like, "I'm ready to do 2, 3, 4 battles. What's up?" But then he didn't battle. I don't know. He got paid for Freeway, and he didn't battle. So it's like,
I don't know. I shout out to Cass. Cass will be at Pendulum Inc. though. He'll be at Pendulum Inc.
Teaching
in March. If you want to see Cass again, pull up Pendulum Inc. March 27th. We'll see Cassidy.
I wanted to ask you this: why didn't Mickey Factz become a full-time battle rapper?
I just felt
instead of just battling here and there.
I always felt like this was. I just felt like it was something that the battle rappers should have. For me, like, I wanted to do it. My first battle, I wanted to do it because I was critiquing so much.
Okay.
And people were like, "Well, you're gonna talk, you got might as well step in," and that's why I stepped in. I had no plans in returning. People were on my neck. And then my second time was, you know, Daylight asking me, "Yo, let's battle," and I was like, "Okay." And then every time I came back, it was a reason. Like the DNA, it was a grudge match. You know, I wanted to rhyme over a beat. I reached out to that league to rhyme over a beat. And then, you know, the Verb joint, I just wanted to battle on every league. It's never been this thing where, even at my lowest, when I was down to $414 in my bank account, I never was like, "Yo, let me take a battle to get on my feet." That just wasn't my thing. It wasn't never about the money for me. It was always about, you know, being competitive when I wanted to be competitive and taking the battle. So me being a full-time battle rapper was never on my docket. It was never something that I wanted to or aspired to do. I admire what these guys do, but it wasn't never for me. I like making music more than I like battling.
Now, you know, I feel like, you know, you just recently put on a dope performance versus Verb.
Yes.
Almost at 100K, y'all like at 98 and things like that.
Crazy. I got a theory on that too. But
yeah. First of all, how'd you feel about that whole performance, you versus Verb, the look and everything? You know, you guys did it quietly. You know, no major promo. I feel like it would have definitely did way more if we would have got a real clash and things like that on that end. But how'd you feel about the battle, the overall outcome of it?
I loved the battle. I love what me and Verb were able to get done and do. When I signed on to do it, you know, ARP was very adamant on not promoting. He was like, I'm not paying you to promote. Like, this is something I just want to get done. So that's why I didn't promote it. And, you know, if you ever speak to ARP, you can ask him. You know, I said, listen, I have a publicist on retainer. You know, we can get this the same way I was in Forbes and Billboard and Rollers. Mm-hmm. We can take this and do something with it. He was like, that's not necessary. So I was like, okay. So I didn't really promote it. I was shocked that Verb announced it. You know, because I was like, we're not getting paid to do this. And, you know, we had some back and forths on Spaces like once or twice. Mm-hmm. But we didn't really, it wasn't really a promoted situation. We
didn't even know if it was real, if y'all, even when y'all was talking about it.
I was always on the fence of it's not happening until we were in front of each other and I got the flyer. When I got the flyer, that's when I started pushing it. And you know, us doing 100K is because there was no promotion. There was literally no promotion. None. It dropped on Christmas against Rex and Chess, which was an incredible battle. They had a crowd. It was on the URL channel. They had a fight. So it didn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
and Easy and John John.
Easy and John John had promo for 2-3. We didn't have any promo.
Facts.
You know, you look at Verb's numbers, I think he averages somewhere around like 600,000 views on battles. I only have 4 or 5. I average about 250, 260. People didn't know we battled. People literally did not know we battled. There was a trailer for like 2-3 days or something like that. Like it wasn't, you know. I think ARP was happy with it because people were paying to see it beforehand, so he made some money back on it. But, you know, it wasn't no promotion for the battle, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I saw Verb going back and forth with people saying, you know, it didn't do the numbers.
I've never been a numbers guy.
Never been a numbers guy. I don't care about stuff like that. Because I've never really done big numbers unless I was putting out a music video on a label, or like when I first came out in the game. I don't really worry about numbers like that. I don't post my Spotify numbers. I don't really think it's anybody's business, to be honest.
Gotcha.
And I've been successful. I've been living off my music for 17 years, so I don't really need to show people what's going on from that perspective. But I understand why people were on Verb's neck, because he was talking so much about URL. So I could see why people were like, you and Mickey are not past a certain number. But, you know, all my battles have passed 100,000, every single one. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting, if we would have got the promotion that we were supposed to get, we should have hit 250, 300,000 views.
I agree.
You know, like,
easily.
But they didn't get any promotion. You know, I did a Chris Unbiased interview. I did a Chris Unbiased interview, and I did a 3 Letterman interview. That's it.
Yeah.
None of the major blogs, hip hop blogs, picked it up.
Yeah.
Nobody
we didn't even
knew
know what was happening. It just kind of just dropped out of nowhere. It was like, and for me, it was like, this is the battle they wanted to see after him versus A-Ward.
Yeah. So
without the promotion, I feel like it definitely took a lot of the steam out of the battle.
Yeah, I mean, people, me and Verb have, I think, 60,000 views when we arguing back and forth on Uncle Rod channel. Like, so like, why wouldn't it do numbers? Like, people like to get on Verb, and that's on Verb. But you can't be mad at me. I tried. You know, ARP said no, don't promote. I said okay, cool. I ain't gotta promote. He said promote after the battle drops. So I said okay, cool.
When you look at Verb and his I guess his outspokenness, and now, you know, going against, you know, URL, and just his stance on everything, and saying that, you know, these new guys don't hold no power and things like that. What do you do? Is it hurting the culture when he goes on this, or is he just bringing light and exposing things that I guess should be spoken about, or a little bit of both?
I mean, you know, it's his opinion. You know, it's his opinion, man. Like, the community of that spaces is like, he gets, let me be like, the max today, he had Joe Budden in there, so it was like 3,000 people. Yeah. But before that, it's like, the max was like 600-700 people be in there. Like, it's not, come on, guys. Like, it's, come on, man. I feel like he's speaking his mind, but it's not, it's less than 1% of the community that's hearing what he's doing. It's not like killing anything. Like, it's him expressing himself, people listening to it, and sometimes it does align. But I don't think, come on. Shout out to Verb, that's my guy.
Yeah.
And just another thing about the promotion. Me and DNA promoted, well, I promoted. DNA was dealing with a loss in his family. Yeah. You know, but I promoted like crazy, and that shit is like 700,000 views. Yeah. That was one of the most anticipated battles, along with
a great battle.
Yeah, it was a great battle, along with Twerk and Rum and Geechee and Shine. Like, we were like a co-headline situation, you know. So yeah.
Lastly, I want to end it with this. You shook the culture up a little earlier this year, I believe, when you mentioned
Eminem.
Yeah, you know I had to talk to you about that. and following up, him and Benzeno ends up catching fire. So it's, I guess, 2-part question. What made you say what you say? And now people started questioning his ability in the ring as a battler. So what made you say what you said about Eminem, and what do you think about how people reacted to him even stepping in the ring?
First of all, I didn't know that was gonna be a big topic when I tweeted it. Like I had saw Real Deal say something, and I was like, he said something about Eminem, and how people talk about him lyrically. I was talking about visibility. I'm not here to argue, who is the better MC. I don't care about that. I was saying that if those tickets go on sale, they're selling out in a couple minutes.
I agree. That's Eminem.
It's Eminem.
Anything he does really.
Yeah, and not only that, it's also going to. The polls are also going to be crazy. It's not going to be this. Yeah. It ain't going to be what you think. He's going to win on the polls too. There's people that search Eminem's name. There's people that are literally, as we speak, are searching Benzeno's name to just attack Benzeno. You think that ain't going to happen for a battler and polls that you guys put up? Are you freaking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those scenarios or situations where I could have worded it better, but sometimes you need to say something crazy and let people figure it out, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? People got to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Now, people took it to he get killed in this era of battle rap. Eminem ain't really built for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they start putting up a lot of his freestyles and saying this ain't it. Or that ain't it, or he can't get on the stage with that.
Yeah.
What do you believe as far as his ability to come and actually perform on this level? You've done it. Well, with these high level MCs who do this battle rap thing for a living.
Anything is possible in any battle. It doesn't matter who's coming in. You would have to go with the battler.
Yeah.
Anything is possible though. Like, I would probably say that M would get a round. He would get the first round. I think he would do good. I think he would do okay. I mean, but it's tough because it's tough to kind of. It's tough, man, because these guys are on another level, and I'm not sure M is doing great things, like lyrically from a multi-syllabic standpoint, and even from sometimes the punches be good, but he's never done it, so the performance is probably not going to be where it should be. So he'll lose, but I don't think people would believe that he would lose from that standpoint. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. But in the building, they're going to cheer for him. Online, the polls are going to say he won, but the community is going to say the opponent won.
Yeah, okay, the battle rap community is going to be like, that ain't it.
That ain't it. Yeah, that's literally what's going to happen.
Oh, what do you think about him and Benzeno? and the outpouring of people saying Benzeno got that. This is the first time since they've been beefing, I guess.
I mean,
I feel like they got Benzeno winning.
When I first heard it, I had Benzeno taking it, but now there's speculation of him having a ghostwriter. So
he said it. He didn't say I have a ghostwriter. He says I was in a room with a bunch of dudes and they was giving me. This is out of his own mouth.
Oh, so then
but he said this is what we all do. Eminem does the same thing as well. That was his. So then he said that on footage.
So yeah, I mean, you got to give it. Well, we got to hear what Eminem has to say. We still have to hear what M says.
Yeah.
I mean, Benzeno jumped out the window. He should have just stayed quiet when it came to that. He shouldn't have said nothing.
He just took his win?
Yeah, take your win. Just don't say nothing. He shouldn't have dropped that first one either. If he'd have dropped the second one and said, y'all was in a dojo, tell him to come outside and not say nothing else, he would have had the world on fire. But now he's looking
He spoke
crazy.
too much, he overtalked.
He's looking crazy. So.
Does Eminem need to respond?
Yes, absolutely. Eminem needs to respond. Absolutely. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, he needs to respond.
Why not, right?
He has to. This is the first time he kind of got hit in the mouth. I don't care if he had a ghostwriter. He got to respond. You got to respond.
You.
Got to respond. Gotta respond. Have to.
I'm gonna end it like this. Who is the best, I guess, industry artist that's came and did their thing in battle rap, from the Jags, Cassidy,
Me.
40 Cal, you?
Me. It's me. It's clearly me. It's between me, King Los, Cass. It's between us three, man. Like,
okay.
Shout out to Jag too, but like
40 Cal.
Shout out to 40 too, you know, like all of these guys. But like, it's between me and Cass and King Los. It's between us three, man. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you talking about? Man? I won my last one clearly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a classic. The best DNA you ever saw in your life was because of me.
Talk your shit.
You know, a bag daylight. Like what? Yeah, I'm out.
Mickey.
Pendulum Mink, sign up, man. Hip Hop is Real, one of the best interviewers and interview insights for hip hop ever. Next time y'all see me on this camera, I'm gonna have a verse for y'all. Alright? Long live lyricism. Peace.
All my wrists is frost. All my women is boss.